Andy Lutwich. I'm Worthing Cricket Club's Youth Development Officer. This is the MCG Manor Cricket Ground, our home ground.
Each of these short sequences takes you into the world of a cricket match, with mathematical questions for you to explore and investigate. To make the most of the maths, pause the video and watch each clip as often as you like. Cricket is a game with lots of numbers. There are 2 teams, 11 players, 2 batsmen, 10 wickets, and in this match 25 overs for each side, with 6 balls and over.
The bowler bowls the ball, and the batsman hits the ball, then the fielders field it.
And then when you run in between the 2 creases at the different ends with the wickets in them, for each time you make it down to the other end, it's 1 run, and then if you make it back, it's 2.
Go on, Joe.
Yeah, you can hit boundaries where a 4 is where it bounces and goes over the boundary line, which is that white thing, and 6 is where it doesn't bounce past, it just goes straight over.
There are 10 different ways of getting out, including ball, caught, and run out.
Well, you're out once and then that's it, you're out for the game.
Cricket is about scoring more runs than the opposition and bowling the opposition out, so maths is terribly important, purely because you're re-evaluating what you're doing all the time. We're putting the stumps in now. It's 22 yards from stump to stump. I'm putting set up either end, and that's basically it. The boundary should be a line that everywhere is an equal distance from the wicket, so that each run is, or each shot is worth the same amount of runs. If you get it a bit smaller one side, unfortunately it means that a worse shot can get more runs.
So, with a fixed length of rope, what shape should the boundary be to contain the largest possible area? At the start of the game, the 2 captains toss a coin to decide who will bat or bowl first.
Right pressure, heads or tails?
Tails.
It's tails.
We're gonna have a ball.
Okay.
What is the probability of making the correct call? How would you work out the speed the ball is travelling when it's bowled?
Speed we tend to ignore at this age, because if they try and bowl it too fast, the control goes. So therefore we just say, if you bowl it straight, if the batsman makes a mistake, you get a wicket. And that's basically how it works.
But at the English Cricket Board's National Training Centre, where they train elite young players, they do take bowling speed seriously.
I'm Alexia Walker, I'm Cricket Performance Manager for Loughborough University. he's going to face balls between 70 and probably getting up to 90 miles an hour. Now cricket's quite a funny sport because you've not got much time and space to react to it. So a lot of it comes down to anticipation. So there's a certain point where the ball is released that you can then start to pick up clues as to whether it's going to be short or whether it's going to be full. And you can start to get an idea of the line of the ball. And then as he starts to move up the elite to elite level, you'll start to practice more and more and more and become to anticipate these particular balls, and you don't actually have enough time to react from the stimulus to actually when it hits the bat. So you've got to anticipate. But the players, as they get to this level, it just seems quite natural for them.
So, if it takes half a second for the batter to react to the ball leaving the bowler's hand, at what bowling speed would it be impossible to hit the ball?
A standard field that you'd set initially, you adjust it according to where the batsman's hitting it. Basically, you don't want the fielders to get too far away, even though they can cover more ground.
Why can fielders further from the batter be placed further apart?
When the boys go out to bat, we tell them basically to run as much as they can, but it's all about risk assessment. If they can angle the bat and hit the ball into gaps, there's less risk and they're more likely to stay in.
It's a record of what's happened in the game, showing all the batsmen's names and the runs that each batsman has scored, all the bowlers' names, a record of every ball that's delivered. So if they score runs, you mark how many runs there are. It keeps a record of how the batsman's out and how the bowlers got their wickets. So you can trace back through and see the story of the match.
You can measure the performance of the batting team by the average number of runs they score per over or per wicket, and of the bowling team by how many wickets they get per over or per number of runs scored. How is this team's performance changing throughout the innings? That's the end of the first innings, and the first team have scored 142 runs in their allocation of 25 overs. It's now time for a break. How would you estimate how far down the pitch the ball must bounce to hit the top of the stumps? How would you work out the equation that describes the trajectory of the ball as it moves through the air? The second team go into bat, needing to get more than 142 runs to win.
Run rate, if you get 10 runs in one over, 2 runs in the next. That's an average of 6 runs per over, so you know you're going about right. And that's basically what they should be doing in their head.
Worthing scored 140 odd. And we started well, but 8 boys have got naught, which means we're now 53 for 9 wickets, so we've only got 1 wicket to go. And that could be it. So Worthing have won.
They should be estimating what they should be getting per over. We got 142, that's about 5 and a bit and over, so therefore we needed to keep the opposition under 5 and over, and we knew we'd be all right. If you're chasing a total, you're constantly reassessing, so that's all estimation. But if you think about it mathematically, you can actually say, well, hang on, if I hit a 4 this over and a couple of singles, I'm back on target.
Compare the performances of the two teams throughout the whole match. This bar chart represents the first team's innings. What does it tell you? This graph is another way of looking at the first team's innings. What does it tell you? And this graph also shows the second innings. What does this tell you?
Maths is terribly important, purely because you're re-evaluating what you're doing all the time, and you'll end up losing the game if you don't use any maths at all. You get your stats, you see how you've done using maths again. You wouldn't understand the game without doing a bit of maths, to be honest.